Hello, guys. This is Myro Estes, the GM of Friends of the Arcane, and the person playing is Sariavis. He's playing his alt Kreliendor, however he says it. I have no idea. I don't even think he knows how to say it. But this is going to be a walkthrough of Blackfathoms. Not sure what this dungeon is, but I'm going to look that up, and that's going to be the title. Uh, So these trash mobs, you just have your tank round them up and make sure if you're using like, because sorry, I was here. He was charging, and he was sometimes pulling aggro. So you don't want to do that. And there's a few secrets in this dungeon, um, and these jumps. Remember, try to take the left route. I mean, he failed there, but the first time I tried to go for the farther one and I missed, and then I took the other one, and it's really easy. It's just you need to jump right. I mean, we had two people who had screwed up here. I think it's Londrail. Yeah, Oh no, Londrail made it. Okay, so it was one person. It was Terzi from Keldorai. But yeah, she actually screwed up twice. But it doesn't really matter. Uh, and it's great. But yeah, so the mobs are essentially really easy. I mean, it's just tank and spank as always. I think this would make a really good heroic for 85s. I mean, that'd be really awesome. And the reason his UI is this way is because I had it set up for like a raid UI that I decided to scrap. I'm just gonna stick with the regular uh, default UI because my UI really looked crappy. But yeah, uh, for Gomorrah, do not use like AoEs that would hit these turtles, or you might cause too much damage on the tank. Uh, that wouldn't be good. And just put dots on it, and then just start casting spells. I mean, tank and spank. It just the damage doesn't look too high on Rakara, uh, but yeah. So that's essentially all you do for Gamun. Gagamu, yeah. And if you are doing a lot of underwater battles, don't forget about your breath bar. That's happened to me before. Um, and these are a bit harder because they I believe slow your speed, and they also use AOE spells. So obviously don't be clustered together. Um, so yeah, uh, so don't stay clustered together and try to think of where you're going because I believe it's when you go north you'll be going in the right direction, and the left and right passages have I think the right passage has a boss that you can fight, and which it's either the left or right side has a boss, or they might have bosses, but I think only the one side has a boss, and you know, so you really just have to worry about when you're fighting underwater, especially if it's a boss, which there is one later, but I think that one's just really easy to bring down. So it really doesn't matter. And they probably could have been doing this a bit faster. Oh, yeah, they probably could have been doing this a bit faster, but I mean they're doing a pretty good speed. I mean this seems a little sped up. I don't remember him doing this that fast. I think it's a little sped up, but I could be wrong. Um, yeah, Sorry Office was a little distressed about his damage compared to Landriel because he wanted to be a top DPS, and I can see he's number 2 now, and he's gonna essentially stay there. Yeah, don't forget about CC, and that's always a good option. And they had taken the wrong way, which they're now correcting it. Yeah, I believe Lady Savrith was the only boss there, aside from Gamun Ra in this area, because that's the correct path right there, is towards those archers. So yeah, this dungeon is a bit straightforward aside from knowing where to go next, unless because there's sometimes where there's multiple branches you can go, so it can be a little confusing, but you know, it's relatively straightforward. I personally think the breath bar should go down much faster, but I doubt they're going to change that. I think you should only be able to stay under the water for 30 seconds before you need air. But that's not going to be changed anytime soon. And just watch out for like stealth satyrs if you're DPS, because they can be a bit of a bitch if you accidentally pull one on an already large fight. I mean, I've had that happen before, and I'm sure Sorry Alvis has. Um, yeah, because Sorry Alvis actually ran into there, I believe. I think it's here, but it might be a bit later where he runs and draws two on. Because I remember he was like, "Oh, I didn't even see them." But yeah. Yeah, these fights are relatively straightforward. I mean, try not to draw aggro, of course, so your healer isn't gonna have to heal multiple people. I have that problem when I heal, is the DPS don't let the tank hold aggro, and then it's terrible. When that happens, usually one person dies. So remember, don't do that. Make sure the tank has established enough aggro, and then go. I think a good wait is 3 to 5 seconds per mob, like that they're attacking. So if they attack a mob for like 3 to 5 seconds, you can attack that mob. Or if they're using AoE, like the Paladin has, like the Hammer of Righteousness and Avenger Shield, you should be good. I'm not sure what this Paladin's using. Because I like my rotation for when I tank. But yeah, so this is an optional room, the Murloc room. Um, the key thing here is to not pull a lot of them. I've died twice in this room in one run, and it was because we kept pulling too many. Um, like what they're doing is good. Ricara's pretty good. I mean, wait. Ah, right. Yeah, if you do pull too many, remember CC. Like, as they said, fear. Uh, they don't have fear, but fear would be good. I mean, you'd probably pull more, but if you're already gonna die, you might as well try to take as many of them with you. Um, and that orb there gives you a buff, which it's not needed, but I mean it's helpful. Yeah, a heroic of this would be nice. Uh, the damage seems to be higher than on Gamura, but essentially it's the same thing. If you're healing, you're not really gonna have to do much of anything aside from maybe using like Holy Light if you're uh, just a paladin or that. And of course, when they get real low, of course you have your Holy Flash and then Healing Surge for shamans and stuff. But it's just the basics of healing, of course. I don't think they have much of anything that actually goes back and forth between targets in these dungeons. I think that's more in Burning Crusade than anything. And then, of course, the Wrath of the Lich King and Kata and whatever is coming out in 2 years, probably. Well, 2 years after the release of Kata. It's probably going to be the next expansion, which is probably going to be a new hero class. What that hero class is, don't know. But, no one knows except for Blizz. But anyway, this is, sorry about that, yawned. Uh, they run away when they're low, apparently. Yeah, they run away when they're low, so you could get a big pull. Uh, it's not bad. Yeah, upcoming, you'll see Landral and Kreliandor, who is, sorry, Alvis, battling for DPS, the highest damage, which, you know, it's good to do that if you're DPS. Like if you have recount, definitely use it and fight for top DPS. I mean, it's perfect. You'll be thinking of better uh, rotations, which I don't use rotations. I click whatever's available, and if they share a cooldown, then I'll obviously use the stronger one. Uh, and I get relatively good DPS. I mean, I had to help Sorry Office with this DPS. I mean, because he was level 85 and I was 80, and that happens. But I almost had the same amount of DPS as he had. So it's definitely good to fight over top DPS. It'll make you better. And here we wanted to know what spec Landral was. Did he even check it there? I don't remember. I know he checked it, but I don't know when. But I know because we were like, wow, she's survival and her DPS is that high. Because, yeah, was not expecting that. I thought she was not survival, marksmanship, but no, she was survival.